Welcome back to Outdoors with Larry Ray, brought to you proudly by Tennessee Wildlife Resource Agency, Barton Power Sports, Sportsman's Warehouse, and Best Care Home Services.
Good Saturday morning, everybody. Once again, it's Outdoors with Larry Ray coming to you from the spacious studios of ESPN 790 here in Memphis, Tennessee. For the good folks in Brownsville, Tennessee, we're at 95.3 or 1520 on the AM dial. And if you're in Jackson, you can catch us on News Talk 101.5. It's being streamed 24/7. We come to you each and every Saturday morning. It is the fastest hour and a half in outdoor sports. And now, without further ado, it is the one and only Oracle of the Outdoors, the one and only Larry Ray.
Oracle of the Outdoors. You know, that's got to be my new theme song. I'm going to put that on my Barton Power Sports shirt on the back. Oracle of the Outdoors. You know, so I love that, Frank.
Glad you do.
Can we just do that every time? You know, just forget me from now on. The rest of all the shows for the next 20 years will feature Frank Barton introducing me because he's got the radio voice. And anyway, thank you, Frank.
You're quite welcome.
For you folks out there, of course, Frank is one of my longtime sponsors, and I'm not only a sponsor but a really dear friend. And I can say that as old as I am, he has taught me a lot. And this next guest coming up on the show is he's just a pup. But he continues to try to teach me how to kill deer, and that sounds like a bird. But you know, and things along that line, and have known his family for a long time. I am a member of the Wall of Fame, which should be the Wall of Shame lately for me. But if anyone wants to know about the Wolf River and how to fish it, and I'm not talking about the Memphis area, I'm talking about the pristine part of the Wolf River. It's our good friend Billy Dole out of Somerville. Good morning, Billy.
Hey, Larry. How are you doing this morning?
I'm doing great, buddy. And let's talk Wolf River fishing. Now, I know that some folks may say, what did he just say? Wolf River fishing. Talk about how you became so engaged with the Wolf River. Talk about what brought you to open up your own guide service on the river. Talk about it.
Well, it all started back in 1980. I had an elderly gentleman brought me up there on Sunday afternoons, and it was just a very few boats fishing at that time.
Mm-hmm.
And I just, for about a year or two, he and I spent Sunday afternoons up here, and that got it started. I've been fishing it ever since. It's just nothing like it. I mean,
well, describe
just
it.
the scenery itself.
Yeah, talk about it. I mean, the experience. What makes it so different from other places?
And if it wasn't for that train that comes through Moscow every so often, I wouldn't think there was any civilization anywhere near me.
Because that's what it is, isn't it? I mean,
yeah, it's just getting completely away from everything.
And so now, in December, you can catch fish, right?
Well, yes. Actually, the month of November, Larry, I caught over 600 bass up here on the Wolf.
Did you hear that?
Heard it.
You heard it. That's right. 600 bass, and as big as what? What was 8 pound? 10? What did you get there? What did you get? 8 pounds? Is that biggest?
No, nothing that big yet.
Okay,
now,
but
it gets colder, the bigger fish will show up.
Really?
But
so
I did catch one in January up here that weighed 11.4.
11.4 in January. Okay, and you're talking about you put in normally where?
I'm fishing what they call the Ghost River.
That's what I thought. Yeah. So talk about
putting up there off of Bateman Road.
Okay.
You really got to want to go up there to go fishing in that because it's so rough to get up through there. There's just nowhere to probably put a decent sized boat in.
And so you fish out of what? What kind of boat do you use?
I got a 15-foot John boat with it's a low.
Yeah. Okay.
It's I got a 25 Mercury, and that's just about as big as you want.
Because you're back.
Sometimes that's too big.
Yeah, you're in areas that I know when I've been with you in areas I don't think any person has ever been through there in their life. You know, because
I claim I got places the only time they see a lure is when I throw it, and that's almost unheard of these days.
And so now you have retired, so to speak, from a career, and you've opened your guide service. So talk about that.
Yeah, well, Larry, I worked back in the 90s. I worked for Buck Gardner and sold duck calls and hog rustler fishing lures with Carl Graham, and
Yes.
I did that for about 8 or 9 years, and I don't know, it just kind of changed and went a different direction, and I didn't know what I was going to do, and I had a little background in the lumber industry, building industry,
Uh-huh.
so Lowe's was coming to town, so I went to work for Lowe's, and I spent 18 years with Lowe's. So I just walked away from Lowe's to go back to try to do my fishing again. So here I am.
You're available. I mean, you have your Wolf River Guide Service. Is that the name?
I do. I got my Coast Guard license to fish Kentucky Lake. I got a place on Kentucky Lake, and I'm gonna do some Pickwick trips.
Okay.
But right now, I'm just doing the Wolf, because the wintertime bass fishing on the Wolf is like nothing you've never seen.
And you can really, you got to be prepared for this, right, Billy? I mean, cold days. I've seen you out there in days. I said, is he really out there fishing? And
well, yes, the day I caught that 11.4, the water temperature was 38 degrees on the surface.
Oh man! Oh,
and the weekend before, we had the river was pretty much chock full of ice. You couldn't find any open water to fish at all. Much less the duck hunters had opened up a few areas, but you couldn't fish it because it was just ice, just chunks laying everywhere.
And on your line too. I mean, you.
Oh yeah. Well, the other day when we had that little bit of snow, I couldn't stand it. I jumped in the boat and came down here, and I said, well, I got to go catch one bass in the snow.
Oh.
And I put the boat in, and it took me about 30 minutes to catch a 3-pounder. So
really? Okay, so it happens again. We're talking to Billy Dole out of Somerville, our good friend, Wolf River Guide Service. And when when you say Wolf River, do people really understand where you're fishing, or do they think, is this guy crazy, or what?
All of the above.
All of the above. Okay.
All of the above. Well, so many people, they have no idea this even exists up here. If you didn't canoe it or kayak it, it's just, you don't know it's here.
Yeah.
And they call it the Ghost River section because years ago, before it was marked with trail markers, so many people were getting lost up here. And I think just a couple, 2 or 3 years ago, there were some boys that didn't allow themselves enough time in a giant boat and some paddles trying to get through that.
That's right.
They got hung up and had to spend the night out there in the boat. So
I don't want to do that.
They call it the Ghost River section because you can't find the channel. You can't. It's just a whole lot of different fingers and different small river runs that run through these woods, and it just.
Well, how do you find it? How do you find it?
I've had myself turned around a few times years ago, but I pretty much know my way around there now. I
think you do, just because of the twists and turns. And we're talking about the Wolf from basically the Bateman Landing there the Wolf is entirely different until it goes into Mississippi and all these. It's a beautiful, beautiful stream that was crossed many times during the Civil War. I know that. When the soldiers were going back and forth, and I'm sure some of those soldiers got lost themselves in there, but it's an experience. If you're looking for that gift for Christmas, I can't think of, if you got that fisherman in your life and he's never done this and never been on the Wolf River, there's nobody better than going on with Billy. And before I switch subject and talk a little deer hunting with you, because I'm going to do that, but how they get in touch with you, Billy, if they want to book a trip?
My phone number is area code 901-497-1577, or they can find me on Facebook or Instagram.
There he goes. You can get to it. Billy, also,
hey, let me share you this. Let me share this with you before we change topics.
All right.
I caught a sauger up here the other day, first time ever.
I saw that.
I think anybody's ever caught a sauger here in this.
Did you know what it was? You didn't lip it, did you?
I tried, but I knew what it was once I put him on. I caught him on a crappie jig.
You did?
About 6 foot of water, and I had no idea.
I mean,
years ago somebody caught one in there when it was down in the channel.
Yeah.
But that's the first I've heard of up here in the ghost section.
Somehow it got through, and of course you're going to catch some grinnell, pickering. You're not just catching.
We catch some grinnell, bowfin, and we catch a whole bunch of chain pickerel.
Yeah, that's what I thought.
Never caught a chain pickerel. They are as much fun as a bass.
That's what you told me. Yeah, I mean, and they put on a fight, don't they?
They put on a fight, and I've caught them up to 4 pounds up here. So
how big?
That's a huge chain pickerel.
How big?
Up to 4 pounds.
4 pounds. Oh, well, we've only got 2 minutes. Don't have time to talk about deer hunting and everything else, but I will say that Billy has on family land that he lets me hunt on occasionally. It's called the Press Box, and it's got a wall of fame, and my name's on there a couple of times. Other people are on there, and I just want to thank you on the air, Billy, for allowing me to be a part of that historic ground blind that's been there since 1993 or something along that line. Is that early 90s?
1992, yeah.
Yeah, 1992, and see my name up there with dignitaries like Mark Rose, and other people, and Vic Thayer, and there I am up there too. But we won't. I'm hoping to be with Billy on Monday in the Press Box, and so I'll give you all a report next week if everything goes all right. Billy, thank you, buddy. Always great
Larry,
to talk to you.
Having me.
We'll talk to you later. BK, from the Merry Christmas to you, buddy. Okay?
Merry Christmas.
Okay. All right. Billy Ross Dole out of Somerville. And what a trip. There's a lot of canoe and kayakers.
For a while, that's the only way you could get around the Ghost River Park.
Oh, yeah.
And they were the only people that knew anything about it.
Well, they put their little signs up so you wouldn't get lost.
The mile marker signs.
Yeah.
Meet me at 3.
Yeah.
Lunch stop.
If you got to 3, you're really good.
That's the lunch stop.
That's the lunch stop. Oh, now you get me hungry. Okay. All right, let's take a break. Come right back. Going to switch over to Frank's country over there. We're going to Forest City, Arkansas, I hope, and talk to Jared Roper about he and his daddy, Tommy, and their love of crappie fishing on Outdoors with Larry Ray.